My dear Lestrade, I congratulate you on the precise quality of your notes. It is true that you have missed everything of importance, but you have spared me the trouble of eliminating the trifles and pointed me in the right direction. I hear familiar steps on the stairs. Please be seated, Watson. You must be famished. Lestrade was kind enough to bring a copy of his notes, hoping it would be of assistance in this affair.
Indeed.
You can study them now and enjoy your meal. Please take your time, Watson, because bad digestion weakens our ability to reason.
Holmes, you will get no argument from me, as this dish is delicious.
We will go to Sherringford Hall with Lestrade when you're finished with your meal.
I must read the documents Holmes gave me.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Sherlock Holmes in the Mystery of the Silver Earring. Part 2 of this walkthrough. Day 2. I think I'm gonna stick to doing one video per day of the investigation. I've already had the first part out, and I know it's been a while since I released the last one, so I am sorry. Things have been kind of busy for me, and to be honest, it was a mixture of getting busy and also wanting to play some other games without feeling the need to record it. But this is still gonna get done. I'm not gonna completely get rid of this. Okay? I'm gonna make sure that this is done before I do anything else. In fact, actually, I wanted to record a playthrough of a new game that came out, but it appears that my setup is not really set up for that. So I had to put that back, and it kind of set me back along other things. But regardless of that, we are back on the case to figure out who killed Sir Bromsby. Now, I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna edit this and cut this up. So, can't remember what was talked about. Do we have to pick up anything? Do we have to do anything? Got my guide here. Let's see. Oh, we have to read. My bad. Let's see. We got a couple documents. Report on the investigation. The case of Sherringford Hall. Inspector in charge, Lestrade. 14th of October, 1897. Before 11 o'clock in the evening, Sir Melvin Bromsby, engineer, architect, and contractor of the renown, was slain by a single gunshot in his mansion, Sherringford Hall. The crime, the author, which still undetermined, took place in which the ballroom during the reception arranged by the victim in honor of his daughter's return to England. She has spent the last several years finishing school on the continent. Despite the presence of 100 witnesses, no precise testimony was obtained regarding the exact circumstances of this horrific act. Nevertheless, based upon certain evidences, there is presumption of suspicion towards the daughter of the victim, Miss Lavinia Bromsby. Give me 1 second. I need, if you'll let me, turn this down. I need to turn this down in my ear. There it goes. Sorry. Need to just turn that down. That's my bad. It was loud, you know. The music was just blaring. It was kind of hard for me to focus on reading. Anyway, back to it. Report by Inspector Lestrade, 14th of October, 1897. Instrument of the crime. The bullet extracted from the corpse of the victim corresponds to the caliber of the revolver found in Miss Lavinia Bromsby's purse. This purse found on the floor was near the door from which Miss Lavinia Bromsby first appeared after the mortal shot was fired. All of the witnesses agree that the sound of the shot originated at or near this very same doorway. The revolver is an old small-bore Wright, which is also a highly reliable weapon. This would explain why the only one shot fired was mortal. Despite a distance of several dozen feet and a difficult angle, Miss Lavinia claims that the victim personally gave her this revolver before the crime for the purpose of her protection against some unnamed threat. This account has been supported by the fact that these models are impossible to find on the continent where Miss Lavinia has spent these last years. Premeditation can be excluded if she is found to be the murderer. Report by Inspector Lestrade, 14th October, 1897. The motive. The victim, even if we had few or no friends, still might not have enemies capable of committing this act. His strong unpopularity among his domestics was compensated by the attractive wages he paid them. His business partners spoke of him as a tough but fair player, according to the criterions of this environment. The fact that he spent long years in India and was solely devoted to his business precludes any crime of jealousy or passion. Finally, the modus operandi doesn't correspond to the typical revenge killing by this or that Hindu sect that these things do happen. The motive that must be applied to the holdings of something quite personal. Another line of reasoning that points to Miss Lavinia Bromsby. According to H. Grimble, the partner of Sir Bromsby, her relationship with her father had become so strained that Sir Bromsby visited his daughter only once during these past 6 years. A local constable must contact Mr. H. Fowlett, the attorney of Sir Bromsby, in order to recover the essential parts of his last will and testament if it exists. Report by Inspector Lestrade, 14th October 1897. Development with regard to the distance and the angle of shooting would be reasonable to suppose that only an expert marksman could have succeeded in making such a shot, but the factor of probability still exists amidst other possibilities. The testimony of the group's cabmen, who were in the ideal place to have observed such matters, saw no one leave through the service door after the shooting, and up until the time when one of the domestics looked it from the outside. All the windows are equipped with thick bars, and the fortuitous presence of the maid at the stairwell indicates that no one ascended to that floor. The testimony of Miss Lambert, the governess, indicated that she noticed only 2 people absent from the ballroom during Sir Bromsby's arrival. Mr. Horace Fowlett, the victim's attorney, and Miss Lavinia Bromsby, the domestics, have been specifically instructed that all the guests were to be present during Sir Bromsby's entrance. I have been persuaded on accounts that anyone who has left the ballroom had returned before Sir Bromsby's entrance. Since Horace Fowlett hasn't gone through the gates of the mansion Sherryfoot Hall, the only person whose movements were unaccounted for at the time of the shooting is Miss Lavinia Bromsby. The chivalrous testimony of a young infantry officer who has confirmed that he saw her standing at the threshold of the door can be the only reason for not charging her with murder. As Miss Bromsby was in the state of deep shock last evening, according to the local doctor who examined her, her interview was delayed until today. Scotland Yard report. General information about the man called Sir Melvin Bromsby. No official involvement as the defendant in any criminal or civil matters. No appearance as a witness in the criminal or civil law code. Compliant as to the robbery committed at the fair stand in St. Bartholomew on July 1861. Judgment of the court was favorable for the crown. Dear Sherlock, here is all the information that we know about the late Sir Melvin Bromsby. Born in 1842 in the Staffordshire of a modest family, he finished his studies of architecture and civil engineering owing to the scholarship and financial assistance of his elder sister, who owned a florist shop. After he was awarded his diploma, he employed by a small firm, which he later left for a large enterprise, the Sellinger Company. In 1872, he was sent to India to assist in the construction of a bridge for the army. At the end of this project in 1874, he felt his position with Sellinger and founded his own. He left his position at Sellinger and founded his own enterprise in Bombay. At the time, he courted Carlotta Campbell, the second daughter of the Colonel Campbell, OBE, commander-in-chief of the important local garrison. The military appreciated Bromsby's straightforwardness and business acumen. Thus, the army entrusted him with many contracts for constructing barracks and other types of work. In 1877, he was married to Carlotta. His business flourished, and he hired a young accountant, Mr. Grimble, who later became Bromsby's personal assistant. An ideal candidate for the position, Grimble excelled at his various administrative tasks. Sir Bromsby's business had continued to prosper over the years. In 1879, Carlotta Bromsby, née Campbell, died, giving birth to their daughter, Lavinia. Bromsby's business enjoys great success. However, the fact that he has been awarded nearly all of the Army's civilian contracts from aroused the jealousy and suspicion of other British businessmen in India. It has been rumored that he gained his fortune through the exploitation of his Indian laborers and British workmen, poor working conditions, and miserable wages. In 1884, upon learning of the death of his elder sister, he decided to return home and prepare the transfer of his business interests to England. He also invested his money in several cement factories, which permitted him to reduce his costs further and thus increase his profits. In 1891, he sent his daughter to study at a finishing school near St. Moritz in Switzerland. She has just returned to England several days ago. He was awarded a knighthood in 1892. There are several cases where his name has been mentioned because of the suggested fraud with his contracts and ill usage of convict laborers at his factories. Such practices are common in London business circles, and his wealth allowed him to avoid scrutiny by the courts. Thus, when his behavior is weighed within the current climate of commercial morality, he is neither angel nor demon. Assuming his business assets are included, his current fortune would be measured in tens of thousands of pounds. That would make him one of the wealthiest contractors in Britain. I wish you good luck in this case. And whatever that name says, I can't read it.
All this is very interesting. According to the evidence, it seems that the shooter was not in the ballroom or the corridor. Where was he then?
Are you finished, Watson? Shall we go? Let us return to Sherringford Hall. Cabby!
Sirs, please, go right in. Please wait here, gentlemen. I will see if Miss Lavinia is receiving callers. She's in her room.
Well, Mr. Grimble, I didn't expect to see you here at this hour.
I am worried about Miss Lavinia, needless to say. I also thought I might learn something of interest about the investigation. This difficulty, if it persists, can do great harm to the business.
Sir Bromsby and Miss Lavinia had rather strained relations, it seems.
Well, Sir Bromsby and Miss Lavinia have never got on very well. Of late, their distance had grown due to the influence of several incidents.
What sort of incidents, precisely?
I do remember one instance in India, where Sir Bromsby attacked a friend of Miss Lavinia. He was our native cartman's son. It seems he spilled a jug full of water that was intended for Sir Bromsby to wash his face. Bromsby began cursing and thrashing the boy before his daughter's very eyes. Miss Lavinia took her friend's part and spoke to her father most rudely.
The devil, you say? What occurred next?
There is no one in the whole of India who would have dared address Sir Bromsby in such a manner. He stayed closeted in his office for the entire day. The next day he fired the carter. But despite these incidents, I am still sure that Miss Lavinia sincerely loved her father.
I'm sorry, but I have to go.
All right, as you wish. I shall remain here.
It's right, NPC. Stay in your spot. Just kidding, though. Alright, now let's head towards the kitchen, if that's possible. Oh, sorry. Did not mean to do that. That is my bad. Trying to go to the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that by accident. I'm sorry, guys. Am I missing something? What is going on? Guys, am I losing my mind? Whoa, what? Huh? What? I think there's something wrong with my game. Well, no, that's not it.
I have to leave you, sirs. I need to verify certain things.
That was really weird.
The more we consider the facts of this affair, the more mysterious it becomes.
The important thing is to be precise and rigorous in your analysis. But at Scotland Yard, we know this well. Reminds me a bit of bad business I resolved. I believe it involved a theft of sticks from a polo team.
I have myself engaged in this sport but a few years ago.
Really?
Do you enjoy the sport of polo, Mr. Grimble? No. You cannot imagine the benefits of this sport. To achieve perfect form and union, man with horse.
A little like the waltz, eh?
Exactly. Except that with this sport, mounting is at full speed, which complicates things singularly. I don't follow you.
The team from Brixton, in my opinion, is the finest example of how polo should be played.
Perhaps they may well be. But what would you say about that last match of the Old Goats Rangers?
They were absolutely splendid. But what of the Brixton team?
Weren't they the cause of some ruckus about a matter of corruption?
I just like how they're just casually talking about stuff going on. It's like, what is going on, dude? Something is wrong with my game, I think. I'm supposed to go to the kitchen. I think, yeah, it seems like some stuff is off. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
May I come in?
Well, oh, take that!
Alright, man, yeah, chill, it's already dead.
Pardon me. It is already quite dead, you know.
Oh, you frighten me! I have a case of the nerves, you understand. I cannot find my bottles.
On the table.
No, not those! That is a poor vintage. The 2 bottles that the old crap, God rest his soul, ordered up from London for the party. Both were 18-year-old whiskey, perfect for the digestion and the heart's sorrows.
And who could have taken them?
I'm sure that the barman from Hertford stumbled them. Who else would know to take those particular bottles over the others?
Very good. I will leave you to your chicken then.
That's it.
Yeah, that dude needs to kind of chill out just a little bit. Yeah, this is gonna get old very quickly. Why can I not go through this door? How does that make sense? Someone make it make sense. No! Wrong door! What is going on? Never once have I ever had to deal with this fuckery. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think my game's just broken right now. Okay. Gotta solve a clue just to be able to frickin'... Oh my god. I have to touch the knight's knee. Oh my lord. This is actually really kind of pissing me off. Oh my Jesus. I just want to go in the smoke room, damn it. That is so stupid. Sorry guys, my game must be just broken.
To whom does this belong?
Probably the murderer. That's my guess. That's always my guess. Okay. Now to the powder room. If I can go to the powder room. Alright guys, sorry about those issues. I think I got it solved. I just had to switch what my main display was in my computers, which I switched some stuff around because I've been playing Skyrim on my computer, and I'm not used to that, so I was switching which monitor it was played on, and I think that's what was causing this to completely go crazy. So we got the issue solved, I think. Let's hope it stays that way. Regardless, we are back on the case. Enough of these things getting in our way. Now we will head to the ladies' powder room. Yeah, everything seems to be fixed now, so that must have been it. It's the only way that really makes any sense.
A handbag of Lavinia Bromsby. I do not favour ransacking a lady's personal property, but I think she will be understanding.
Yes, because we're trying to find her evidence.
A programme for the London Opera.
Lieutenant Harrington letter. Dear Miss Lavinia, excuse my boldness and do believe in my most sincere condolences and honor and affections in this terrible time. I cannot excuse myself if I have allowed you to face all this on your own. I ordered my valet to move my possessions to the Queen's Arms, which is the nearest inn to Sherringford Hall. I'd be greatly honored if you could allow me to make myself useful to you at my new lodgings. I am but a few minutes away, should you require my assistance. I took care to forget my gloves at your mansion, so that my visit to call on you would not invite any undead speculations or gossip. Sincerely and eternally yours, Lieutenant Lavinia Harrington. Okay, so those are his gloves. We know that now. Okay, looks like we got to go back to the hall.
I feel quite ready to answer your questions now, Mr. Holmes. Yesterday I was not in my right senses. I do want to encourage you on the sound advice of Mr. Grimble. He explained to me that everything my father built during his entire life may collapse unless this gossip ceases and this matter is resolved. Do you agree, Mr. Holmes?
Whatever the truth is, I will reveal it.
I feel quite ready to answer your questions.
First of all, it is necessary for me to know your acts and your movements during this unfortunate event.
First I attended my appearance in the powder room. Then, as my father requested, I was standing quietly just inside the ballroom. I powdered my face one last time, while everyone, including myself, was watching my father. Suddenly, I heard this noise from behind me, and then I saw my father stagger and fall. Oh, my dear lord. So I ran to his side and found that he was dead.
What was your relationship with your father?
We barely saw or even wrote to one another for 6 years. But the father that met me upon my return was not the man I remembered. Something in his eyes had changed. There was a wariness there and perhaps even some unexplained anxiety.
Forgive me, but it seems Lieutenant Harrington has made himself responsible for your care.
Oh, he has proved himself to be most gallant and considerate. I have no friends here, other than Mr. Grimble. Mr. Harrington neither requested nor expected any recognition for his kind interventions and was most attentive yesterday evening.
Thank you for answering my questions, miss.
Oh, it is me who should be thanking you.
As I mentioned to you before, if this investigation is to proceed properly, it'll be necessary to examine your father's personal documents. May we see his office? I suppose Sir Bromsby kept his papers in this drawer.
Watch out!
Good God!
It must be one of Fowlett's inventions. Sir Bromsby mentioned he had asked his lawyer to devise security measures to protect his private documentation. I remember now that Fowlett has a unique passion for mechanizations and automatons. I had no idea what kind of devices he had created.
Inspector Lestrade, I give you leave to tend to your appearance. I doubt you can return to the yard in such disrepair. I will now examine this room according to my methods. This bridge is quite impressive. It must have been a considerable undertaking. I need something. A Masonic symbol, no doubt. The young Lavinia, with her grandfather, no doubt. A page from this book has been marked. Let's examine it.
Okay, so here's that picture behind him in front of the Khaleesi Abyss, which is a bridge, I'm guessing. This is the picture we're just looking at. There's the third person cut off. Lavinia is young, learning to shoot. My dear friend, I would not miss this reception at any cost. I cannot help but envision the sight of Miss Lavinia's eyes when you make your announcement. Fear not, I have not received any bad news from my friend, the customs official. I will see you then on the day after tomorrow. Yours, friends, Horace Fowlett. P.S. This book will certainly help you to understand my preferences in art that you found so debatable during your last visit. One more challenge. Medieval French art. The first examples of this art from now on are named crude color woodcuts, date back to the first decade of the Middle Ages. At that time, there was neither any artistic nor any rationale for hiding one picture inside another. The motivations were sometimes subversive because certain subjects were forbidden to be artistically represented. Today, this technique is still rarely used, and the great majority of crude colored woodcuts concealed only animals or joyful personages in Baroque landscapes.
It is the pieces of the English edition of the Indian newspaper.
Remember, I still have the original of the passage concerning the code in my 55 is the number to be found by adding. Translated from French. Can't really do much with this. struggling there, Sherlock?
Look here. This message just came for me. 2 days ago, Mr. Horace Fowlett was seen leaving for the North Country. The constable for the town of Flatton, where the solicitor resides, obtained this information from Fowlett's neighbours.
I have a bad feeling about this, Watson. What would you say to a short jaunt to Flatton to finish off our day?
No objection at all, Holmes.
Cabby!
Hello, gentlemen. Constable Fletcher here.
Good day, Constable. Can you help us?
Yes, Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard wired me about your arrival and instructed me to do as I would with the inspector himself.
Would you be so good to take us to the neighbours who spoke of that night?
Come with me. Here we are.
Excellent!
Excellent!
Graham, this is a detective from London. He would like to hear what Mr. Fowlett told you that night.
So Mr. Fowlett left?
Yes, he made his departure the day before yesterday, in the night. Not that this is the first time he's behaved in such a way. Anyway, he's not like others, and it didn't seem odd to see him leave at that hour, despite the heavy downpour.
And how is he, this Fowlett?
I'd call him an eccentric, you see. Not that I have anything bad to say about the man. His place is full of baubles with springs and mechanisms. There have been explosions. Yes, upon my word, explosions. But the next morning, there he'd be, always ready to wish me a good day.
Did you actually see him depart?
Well, a shutter on the barn had come loose and was beating about in the wind. I went out to set it straight in that moonless night. Then there he was. I saw him leaving. I shouted out, "Hey there, Mr. Fowlett!" He waved and shouted something about leaving for the north for a fortnight.
Do you know where he went?
I couldn't quite make him out with all the wind and rain, but it seemed to me he left on some business matter. I think a fellow came to talk to him about something.
Interesting.
Well, it may be nothing, but if you think that the things he has in there might explode, you should better go and check.
Do you know a way into Fowlett's house?
Here's the key to the door that he left with my wife. If you don't mind, I won't accompany you. I prefer to remain alive and in good health a good bit longer.
You say he had a visitor?
Oh, I don't know. It seems to me I saw someone at his place at nightfall. But people often visited old Fowlett at odd times. Fellows who brought him pieces of I don't know what for his contraptions. There was also a friend who often came by. I think his name was Sir Glumsby or Flomsby, but it couldn't have been him because he's much taller than the chap I saw.
Good. I will go see what I can find. Wait for me here.
As you wish.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Constable Fletcher, I must ask that you allow me to enter alone. Do you agree?
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
And now, Watson, if you could be so kind to return to the station and speak with the station master. Question him until you are satisfied that you have a detailed description of the party who took the last train to the north 2 days ago.
My pleasure.
As soon as you're done, please return here. Keep close watch, for I may need your assistance inside. Wait for us.
All right.
I know when it comes to games like this, I don't give a whole lot of commentary, because it's pretty straightforward most of the time of what I am doing. I just like to give commentary to kind of laugh, you know, have a good time, and just, kind of, I more just catch myself laughing at,
Closed.
like things like that, closed. The way he talks is just really funny.
My word, I can't see anything.
Let's see, I think you gotta click this to turn on lights.
Ah, Fowlett liked his jests.
Yes, he did. Then we gotta use the matchbox to bring some
I need
light.
to be cautious. These items may contain traps, such as those found in Bromsby's office.
I think we gotta tape measure these feet here, these footprints.
It is a size 7.
And if I remember correctly, is that the same size as the other one? Hold on. I'm kind of curious. Yep, size 7. And what is next?
Size 6.
Oh, I see. So his feet aren't size 7, but his visitor probably was. That has to be it. Let's head this way.
What an odd house.
What the? Okay, yep. You know, if this was me in real life, I'd been like, you know what? Being a detective is overrated. I ain't putting up with this. I ain't dealing with clowns or jesters. Screw that.
These paintings are from the town of Epinal.
There's a hidden deer right here.
There might be another drawing hidden among these pictures. Let's examine them carefully.
It says this one, has a bear. I think that's what this is. And then this one says there's a crab. I think it's referring, like right here, maybe? I think here's the claws. And then this one. Yep, there's the eagle right there. You can see it. Dude, I gotta look at this now. This is freaky looking. Okay. Yeah, let's get away from this thing for now while we can. I'm trying to think, I think we need to pick this up.
Look, what's this?
Let's find out. It's a wood toy. Sorry guys, I'm following my guide I have.
These books warrant a closer look.
Do we have them? Can we read them? Ah, poetry. Translated from the French Jean de La Fontaine fables. The Villager and the Serpent. Aesop tells of a peasant charitable but not too wise one winter's day was traveling around the land he lended. He saw a serpent stretched out in the snow, cold and frozen, paralyzed, having little time to live. The villager took him home and, without considering the cost of such an action, laid him out before the fire, warmed him and revived him. The frozen serpent began to sense the warmth which revived his soul as well as his evil nature. He lifted his head a bit and whistled, coiled his body, and then struck against his benefactor, his savior, and his father. Ingrate, said the peasant, is this you repay me? You will die. And with these words in righteous rage, he took a knife and sliced the beast, making 3 serpents with 2 cuts, a trunk, a head, and a tail. The evil one tried to rejoin himself, but was to no avail. Charity is a virtue, but be careful toward whom. There's no point showing it to ingrates who seal their own doom. That's probably what Bromsby was referring
A
to, right?
pheasant and a serpent. The very symbols found on Sir Bromsby's speech.
We gotta investigate this ashtray with
White flaky ash.
Ah, I see. So that ash... So was Horace Fowlett actually there, or was the guy that killed Bromsby here as well? I don't know. I don't know.
Gin! Gin!
See, like that.
Gin.
Gin!
Blood. Blood.
Huh. Why is there blood? That does not... That's... That's concerning. Sherlock, how are you calm during this?
I can see a faint gleam.
Where are you? It's a lamp, I think?
Now I see better.
Okay.
The blood was cleansed with this mop.
So there's blood. Someone must have died here. I can't remember exactly. Let's try entering.
Closed.
Closed. Everything wants to be closed. Huh.
An automatic shoe brush. What an inventor this Fowlett is.
An automatic shoe brush. You still gotta crank it. That's not automatic. Oh, it's automatic to them at the time. Okay. Let's see. This is correct. If this is correct, from my understanding... From my understanding is that each one of these rows and diagonally have to add the 55 based on what we read for this one. 55 is the number to be found by adding. So remember, I have an original, the puzzle concerning the code in my... excuse me. Just had some Taco Bell before this. Taco Bell breakfast. I mean, you have your opinion if you want of me. If you think I'm disgusting, I understand, but you know. Guess I got the burps. I would gladly take the time to solve this, I think. But to save us time on it, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the answer. So, like, if you're watching this and if you don't want to get the answer, you just wanted to see how you could solve it, exactly, but not exactly the answer, I would say go ahead, skip ahead, or try to solve this yourself, and then refer to this for help. I am using a guide myself that I'm just gonna put them there, but how you would solve this is, I believe, each like row here would have to add up to 55, and each downward row would have to add up to 55, but on top of that, I believe each of these have to add up. I can't remember if it's like one of the diagonals have to add up to 55. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because like this obviously doesn't go to 55, right? Hold on, let me read this. Let me read this. This is what this guide says. The object of the puzzle is to place missing numbers on the indentations to make a horizontal, vertical, and diagonal X sum of 55. This is based on the burnt paper with the code that states 55 is the number to add. So my guess is like this would equal 55. But not necessarily the rest of these. So like 8, 11, 18, 24, 30, 35, 41, 50. Like, see, that equals 55. Now, I'm going to pull out, let's see, what goes right here? 8, 2, 9. 9 is supposed to go right here. Let's see if this adds up to 55. 9, 17, 25, 30, 39, 48, 49, 49, 50, 49, oh, sorry. It'd be 56. So I'm not sure this one has to, but I think it refers to each of these corners all the way have to add up to 55, and each across have to add up to 55. So that's how we would figure this out. So, gave you the first one. If you stuck around here, if you want to solve the rest, that's how you would solve it. And you get that clue from this piece of paper right here. So, with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and place the rest of these. So if you don't want to see the answer, skip ahead right now. So 1 goes right here. 10 goes right here. 7, 3 goes right here. And if you don't like that I'm kind of cheating and use a guide, keep in mind I did play this on stream and I struggled immensely. I did eventually solve this. I might have looked up like how to do it, but I put in the time to make sure I picked the right numbers. But this is for a walkthrough, and I'm not trying to play for 6 hours to solve this. I'm trying to give you, most of the time I'll try to solve it myself, depending on how big the puzzle is, and then just look it up after some time. But this would take us a while. I will still keep trying to do the questions at the end without looking them up first, because that's a bit more fun for me, and that won't take as much time than something like this. I will say, this doesn't compare to the end of the Mystery of the Mummy puzzle. That was wild, alright? And I did try that. I did try that one. So I think I've earned my due. 6 goes right here. 8 goes right here. Then we got a 7. Oh yeah, and they do go light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. 6, 3. And then we have another 3. We actually have another 3. Man, everybody gets a 3. Then we got a 5. 4. 2, just missing the 3. And then 9, and then it's a 9. Then another 2. Then we need an 8. And then a 1. A 4. Then a 5. And then all we have left is a 7. And there we go. I don't know what we just picked up. It was a counter. Huh. Take the coin counter. Alright.
Fowlett created this device to most likely perfect his invention.
And what even is this thing? What's the invention? Oh, we gotta get the screwdriver in the windowsill.
Very interesting. These are old award certificates from automation invention competitions. I need something. There is Fowlett. He is not tall and appears to be quite obese. greasy substance. Very interesting.
Okay, so we got that. And we gotta go back to the living room. And I think we gotta use the coin on... Okay, Sherlock, calm down. Calm down, it's okay. And then we gotta use the coin on that freaky-looking clown. Or jester, or whatever you want to call it. Ugh. Okay.
I shall select a card
What?
to find the logical sequence of what this automaton displays.
Why? Why this? Why? Why? Like, why was he sitting there like, oh, the red glowing eyes on the creepy smiling clown face goes well with the red diamonds of his creepy looking shirt and jester outfit. Such a great idea. Okay. So, hold on. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Sorry. Lift the left hand of the automaton to see what cards are shown. That show a logical sequence of the cards displayed.
What card do you play?
It can talk?
I need to place the correct card in its hand.
Okay, I see. I see. Did I get it? Okay, so we
What
get...
card do you play?
I see, so it's, So would I think this would be it. Oh no. I thought I had that one in the bag, I'm not gonna lie.
I shall select a card to find the logical sequence of what this automaton displays.
See, like, quiz, like, ones like this are a bit simpler, you know? This doesn't take as long.
What card do you play?
I could really go without that creepy clown talking to me, though.
What card do you play?
I'm kind of failing to see what the pattern or sequence is for this. I tap out. I'm seeing what it is. Jack of spades and click and hold the 4 diamonds. Why would it be the 4? I don't really understand why it'd be the 4 diamonds, if I'm being honest. Okay, what's the next one?
What card do you play?
So it'd be a club. It goes from 2, 7. That kind of out. 2 of clubs, that doesn't make much sense. Would it be... Well, would it be 2 of clubs? Hold on. 4 of clubs? Why would it be the 4 of clubs? I was gonna go with it being the 2 of clubs, but I was wrong. So we're gonna go give 4 clubs.
You won.
Aw, thanks. Now, never talk to me again. Please. Piece of paper, read. Here's a picture of Horace Fowlet. Text by Noah. The first animal came from the shore. It was afraid of the powerful waves. The second came from the valleys, afraid of the river with fast streams. The third came from the hills. It was hiding from the downpour. The last one that Noah welcomed came down from the mountains. It wasn't afraid of water, but it heard the wrath of the Lord roaring. Alright. Now, if I never have to see you again for as far as long as I live, will be too soon. This dude had this thing just hanging in his living room. Like, look, I'm not the best with decorations, but like, who told you that was a good idea? Yeah, I just want a creepy looking jester in the corner of my living room that I walk in every day for the rest of my life. What was wrong with you? Like, if that's what you're really into, I guess fine, like, you do you, but, like, not me, son. Not me. And keep me out of it.
The animals must enter Noah's Ark in the proper order.
Okay. Let me read this again. From the shore, it was afraid of the powerful waves. The second came from the valleys, afraid of the river with fast streams. Oh, it was hiding from the downpour. That's one came down from the mountains. I think it's based off the, I'm just guessing at this point. I have to say, there was no way I was getting that right. Let's see. Okay, so first it's the crab. Second, it is the deer, the bear, and then we do all the rest. And I think this could be done in any order, but the last one has to be the eagle, because I think the hints are based off the picture. That's why I was trying to do first off, and with the little text, so.
It is elementary. Someone tried to force this safe.
You can see the little marks there. Okay, let's read what we got. Draft of Sir Bromsby's will. According to the wishes of Sir Bromsby, the will is to be written for favor of Herman Grimble unless he predeceases the testator regardless of Miss Lavinia's majority. She will be paid a substantial pension during this period. In the event that Miss Lavinia should marry before the death of Mr. Grimble, then she and her husband would exercise control over the Bromsby assets to the prejudice of Mr. Grimble. Regardless, Mr. Grimble would retain his right to reserve the daily operations of Bromsby Enterprises and any portion of dividends, according to his personal investment in the aforesaid business. Find out that the information in legal texts about the majority and probable success of the Harris to contest such a document. Horace Fowlet. My dear friend, I will not be able to pay you a visit next week as we had arranged. A terrible revelation is added to my usual worries. I shared with you earlier the boast of my nephew when he was employed at the cement factory and the accusations he has raised against Grimble. The recent visit of Her Majesty's tax official has done little to lessen these suspicions. The lack of time, perhaps courage, does not permit me to reveal Herman's machinations. I will reveal the complete truth as soon as possible. How could I ever be betrayed in such a way? Your friend, Sir Melvin Bromsby. Man, there's so much to read. Letter from Bromsby to Fowlett. My dear friends, I told you during my last visit the difficulties between Grimble and my nephew have taken a critical turn. It seems that his ungrateful young man has gained the upper hand, and if he doesn't complain anymore, the foreman and some of the workers are doing it for him. I beg your pardon. Don't think that young Wyatt is a ne'er-do-well, but his acquaintances here in London have a negative effect on him. Would you kindly tutor him in his studies far from the city? I think in your company he would find real value and return to the right path. I am eternally in debt to his poor mother and cannot stop thinking about his future well-being despite his ingratitude. Your friend, Melvin Bromsby. Audience text. Miller, Simpsons, Kirby of Ellen's case. The court returned a verdict guilty for Mr. Miller and Mr. Kirby as accessories in the accidental death of Louis Cassadetti during a brawl at a place named the Inn of the Golden Apple in Hexham on the night of the 20th to the early hours of 21st of February 1892. Mr. Grimble and Miller have been sentenced to 3 years of hard labor. The court returned a verdict of guilty for Mr. Miller, Simpson, and Kirby and Collins for the charges of robbery. Said robbery took place at the Inn of the Golden Apple during the night of the 20th to the morning of the 21st of February 1892. Mr. Miller, Simpson, Kirby, and Collins are such sentenced to pay a fine in the amount of £125 to Mr. Jane Gastagaletti? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing names wrong. I've never been the best at that. Marcus/Venezuela, 1605-1894. Dear Mr. Fowlett, I have personally welcomed the nephew of your friend. This Wyatt Collins doesn't seem to be a bad fellow at first glance, but I think he needs a firm hand. He will be hired as supervisor for the copper mines near the border. I believe that the hard-working way of life that we lead will have a healthy effect on him. Sincerely yours, I think that says Sergeant Sullivan, Chief Foreman. I'm not sure that's Sergeant, probably something else. British Embassy, 1308-1894. Notice is hereby given that a British subject, Wyatt Collins, was arrested by the Brazilian authorities in the region of Guacamaya. It is our embassy's policy to inform the proper interested parties in England when a British citizen stands accused of a crime and lacks the adequate means to secure a proper local barrister for his defense, since the individual in question may be subject to a term of imprisonment. If you desire to meet his needs, you must make arrangements with the Brazilian embassy in London. R. Cheswick attached. British Embassy in Brazil, 02/02/1897. Mr. Fowlett, notice is hereby given that Mr. Wyatt Collins was discharged. As you were earlier informed, Mr. Collins has been enjoying a half-free order for the past 10 months due to his good behavior and the influence of the prison warden in Guacamaya, who is a former soldier of Her Majesty's Army. Under the former conditions of his sentence, Mr. Collins was required to remain within the territory. Hereinafter, he is free to leave the country. R. Cheswick attached. Series of numbers 1-1-1-2-1-1-2-1-1-1-1-2-2-1. What is next for us?
Someone tried to force this safe.
I think we have to go outside now. Okay, Sherlock. Says Watson's supposed to say something. That's okay, let's do this right now then. Hopefully I didn't mess something up.
I need something. Footsteps, size 10.
Okay.
Closed.
A bit lost because I've done everything, and it says Watson's supposed to
Closed.
Am I missing something? Hold on.
Someone tried to force this safe. The pillow is missing.
Holmes, Murray has just found a key in the garden.
See, like, that's a perfect example of the game not letting you move on until you find everything you need to find. I knew I was forgetting something. So now, we could just kind of, like, are a step ahead now. We're gonna go, get this key. Believe it or not, that little detail about the pillow matters. Unfortunately.
Holmes, Murray has just found a key in the garden.
It should be done quickly.
Thank you. And I believe I know what key this is.
Closed.
Oh my gosh, we gotta do this every time. Come on, bro. Unnecessary steps in the whole matter. Now, let's use this key.
Watson, over here.
My God, this man is dead, Holmes.
Brilliant deduction. I thought perhaps he was tired and decided to rest under a pile of potatoes, which in turn fractured his skull. Watson, you see everything, but fail to observe. I do not have time for trifles.
Oh, really, Holmes? You go too far.
Watson, tell Constable Fletcher to contact Lestrade with all haste. Now, I'd like to look around the house.
All right, Holmes.
I don't understand why Holmes had to be such a jerk about that. Okay.
I need something.
Okay, first things first.
Size 6.
Okay, so those were his shoes at the door, meaning a person was trying to break in that had 10-inch feet, and then a different person who had 7-inch feet probably was the one that killed him, especially if there was blood in the kitchen of the 2 bottles of gin that probably were stolen from the party. All right. And were the same person that probably killed him that were there in the kitchen, because the 7-inch feet footprints match up there. So that tells me, because I'm a detective, see, I know the end of this story, but still, if you kind of are piecing it together like Sherlock probably was, it's like probably the same person after the party came here and killed him, because why would there be the 2 bottles of gin? That's probably where the 2 bottles of gin came from.
I recognize this handwriting. This handwriting is identical to the writing on Monsieur de la Mazardiere's visiting card.
The Frenchman that wasn't there at the party? Bernardo Espiel de la Vega and Tequinaire Tristan de la Luna Lesbo. I can't. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. See anything else in here I could get in here? Yada 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 yada. Nope. I think we're good to go.
The station master assured me he clearly saw Mr. Fowlett board the last train to London.
But as Constable Fletcher can attest, the body in the cellar is without question that of Horace Fowlett.
Do you have the station master's statements there in your notes, Watson?
Of course. And be sure that...
It is neither the right place nor the right time to talk about this. We must hurry. I fear if we do not act promptly and with all haste, this second dead body will not be the last. Let us return to Baker Street. It seems to me that we have gathered all of the key elements, Watson. However, before we retire, let's summarize our findings. The questions should be answered yes or no and justified by the evidence or testimony received during the investigation.
All right, you know how this goes. We're going to try this once to see if I'm actually any good at solving mysteries at all. I'm not. I already know what happens, obviously, but it's just a little bit fun for me. So we're going to try this once, and if I get it wrong, then we'll look at the answer so we can move the story along. We're getting close to the end of this video. If I believe I'm editing it the same way, I am sorry about some of the technical issues I had to figure out, but those are good now. And now I know how to prevent them in the future. But I'm excited to get back into this. I know it's been harder for me to record. I don't know, I've just been feeling less motivated to record and more motivated to focus on other responsibilities I have and just kind of taking the time I do have to relax and not focus on recording. But I am going to get back to this. I think it doesn't help that like a new game came out this month that I wanted to play. So, I mean, that's one of those things. I was even wanting to make a playthrough of that, but it didn't really work out. So, I am working on stuff, and I'll get to finishing this soon. But for now, let's answer the quiz today. Did Horace Fowlett receive a caller for the evening he was supposed to leave? Yes. And we get that from... No. Let's see, notes. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes because of this conversation with his neighbor. Were all the guests in the ballroom at the time of the shooting? No. Because... I think it is this one. Were all the guests in the ballroom at the time of the shooting? And then... all the guests were to be present. I guess that's technically yes. Did Sir Bromsby and daughter have a good relationship? No. And that is... according to her, was Horace Fowlett aware of the problems between Herman Grimble and Sir Bromsby? Yes, because of this letter. Was there anything missing from Horace Fowlett's house? Yes. Oh, yeah. The pillow was missing. Did somebody enter through the window of Fowlet's house? No, because... Fowlet's bedroom outside window has no bars and is kept closed with a screwdriver. That's probably going to be yes, because that's showing that somebody easily got through it. Alright, just a review, and I'm probably wrong about this, but it is what it is. Did Horace Fowlet receive a call at an even night he was supposed to leave? Yes, and that's because of the conversation with his neighbor. Were all the guests in the ballroom at the time of shooting? Yes, because this document says so. Did Sir Bromsby's daughter have a good relationship? No, and she even states that as much that they didn't talk for a while. Was Horace Fowlet aware of the problems between Herman Grimble and Sir Bromsby? Yes, because he received a letter talking about his problems with his nephew. Was there anything missing from Horace Fowlet's house? Yes, he was missing his pillow from his bed. Did somebody enter through the window of Fowlet's house? No, because... I'm gonna switch that to yes, because there was a footstep outside, and it was kept closed with a screwdriver, meaning probably wasn't staying closed. Alright, let's see if we got it right. And if we did, just want to say thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I am still doing the videos per day. I don't see why I wouldn't. And I will see you all guys in the next video where we continue the mystery of the silver earring.
We must have made an error, Watson. Let's check our answers.
Man, I did my whole outro and ended everything for no reason. That's okay. Now we can see where I got wrong.
Yes or no, and justified by the evidence or testimony received during the investigation.
Okay, let's see. Did Horace Fowlet receive a caller in the evening when he's supposed to leave? The answer was yes. The dialogue, Murray Fowlet. Fowlet's house dialogue, yep. Got that one right. Question 2, were all the guests in the ballroom at the time of shooting? Yes. The development of the crime, we got that one right. Did Sir Bromsby and his daughter have a good relationship? Answer, no. Justify Herman Grimble. So basically, same thing, just different conversation, really. So that's the correct answer right here, is that it's actually Herman Grimble, not her. Even though you can kind of piece together they didn't have a good relationship based off this conversation. But I guess this works too. 4, was Horace Fowlet aware of the problems between Herman Grimble and Sir Bromsby? Yes. Select the letter from Bromsby to Fowlet. 11... Okay, so let me read this one. Okay, so basically the same thing, just more specific. So it's yes, and the letter from Bromsby to Fowlet, 11/12/1896. Was there anything missing from Horace Fowlet's house? Answer, yes. Fowlet's bedroom, the bed is not made and the pillow is missing. We got this one correct, so we might have just not gotten one wrong, depending on the answer of this one. Number 6, did somebody enter through the window of Fowlet's house? Answer, yes. Justify Fowlet's bedroom. Outside window has no bars and is kept closed with a screwdriver. And the guard in the footprints is size 10, the barrel under the window. So technically... Oh, sorry guys, something knocked over on my desk. Technically I got it right, because I was still able to piece that together with that other piece of evidence, because she even says, like, oh, I haven't talked to them. Well, but I guess you can justify that. Doesn't innately mean that there isn't a good relationship. Maybe you're just, your relationship, you don't like speak that much. I've met people who are like that, so that's pretty fair. Other than that, it does make sense that Herman Grimble, that was gonna be my second go-to if that one didn't work. So I think we did pretty good today. We got literally 90% of all the answers right, just based off our own reasoning. So sweet, that should be all the correct answers based on the guide that I've given. And if you followed me up to this point, if you're following me along using my videos to kind of help you solve some of these, if you can't figure it out themselves, that should be the answers you'll have to use. Once again, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope to see you guys in the next day for this next part in the mystery of the silver earring, where we solve the murder of Sir Bromsby. So thanks for sticking around, guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Let's watch this ending cutscene, seeing if we've got it right. This would be really awkward if we did not get this right, but let's see how this goes for us.
It is simplicity itself, Watson. We have answered all the questions.